Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you work, the money just won't flow? Like something invisible is blocking your financial breakthrough? What if I told you that there are 3 powerful prayers that can unlock that blocked money and open divine doors of abundance in your life? Have you ever noticed that sometimes you can be doing everything right? Working hard, staying disciplined, chasing opportunities, and yet it feels like your finances are frozen. Money should flow, but instead it's stuck. Bills pile up, opportunities disappear, and you start wondering, what am I missing? The truth is, sometimes the blockage isn't in your bank account, it's in your spirit. And that's why today, I want to share with you 3 powerful prayers that can unlock blocked money and release divine abundance back into your life. Don't miss a single word of this message, because by the time we're done, you'll have spiritual keys that can open the floodgates of blessing you've been waiting for. Prayer 1T, the prayer of release. Divine Source, I release every fear, doubt, and negative belief that has blocked the flow of money in my life. I forgive myself and others for any misuse of financial energy. I now open my heart to receive freely and abundantly. This prayer works because release is the first step toward receiving. When you hold fear, you block flow. But when you forgive and release, you make space for new blessings to arrive. Prayer 2, the prayer of alignment. God, align my thoughts, words, and actions with divine prosperity. Let every decision I make be guided by wisdom and integrity. May I become a magnet for opportunities that bring value and abundance. Alignment is powerful because prosperity is not just about money coming to you, but flowing through you. When your purpose aligns with divine principles, wealth follows naturally. Prayer 3, the prayer of overflow. Lord, thank you for the abundance that is already mine. Let it overflow beyond my needs so I can bless others. I walk in faith knowing that your provision never runs dry. This prayer shifts you from scarcity to gratitude and overflow. When you thank the source before the blessing manifests, you activate the law of expectation, and miracles begin to move. Your financial freedom doesn't begin with a paycheck. It begins with prayer, faith, and alignment. Say these prayers daily. Feel them, believe them, and watch how divine energy begins to move, unlocking blocked money, restoring peace, and bringing prosperity into every corner of your life. Money is often seen as something purely physical, paper, coins, digital numbers on a screen. But in truth, it carries an energy, a vibration that interacts with the frequency of your own thoughts and emotions. When people struggle financially despite hard work, intelligence, or opportunity, it's rarely because they are incapable. More often, it's because something within their energy or mindset has disrupted the natural flow of prosperity. The spiritual law of flow teaches that everything in the universe moves in cycles. Water flows, air circulates, seasons change, energy moves. The same principle applies to money. When your spiritual and emotional energy is aligned with abundance, money flows toward you. When your energy is heavy with fear, guilt, or lack, the flow becomes restricted. It's like trying to pour water into a closed jar. Nothing can enter because there's no space for it. The spiritual law of flow reminds us that wealth is not simply a matter of effort, it's a matter of resonance. You attract what you are aligned with. If you see money as scarce, difficult, or undeserved, that belief creates resistance. If you see it as a blessing that circulates freely, your vibration becomes open to receiving. Most people chase money as if it's running away from them, but in truth, money responds to energy. It listens to your faith and intention. This is why two people can do the same job, have the same skills, and yet experience completely different financial realities. One person may constantly struggle to make ends meet, while the other experiences consistent opportunities and flow. The difference isn't luck, it's alignment. Understanding this spiritual law starts with seeing money as neutral. It's neither good nor evil. It's a tool, a symbol of exchange, an energy that amplifies the consciousness of the person who holds it. If your thoughts about money are filled with fear, you unintentionally repel it. If your relationship with money is built on gratitude and respect, you create a channel for it to enter easily. The spiritual law of flow invites you to examine your inner dialogue. What do you really feel when you think about money? Do you feel anxiety or peace? Do you believe that there's always enough? Or do you secretly believe that abundance belongs to others, not you? Every thought you have about money sends out a frequency. The universe mirrors that frequency back to you. Many people are unknowingly stuck in the energy of lack. They pray for more, but live in the vibration of less. They say they want wealth, yet their daily emotions are rooted in worry, envy, or guilt. Worry tells the universe that you expect shortage. Envy tells it that you believe others have what you can't. Guilt tells it that you're unworthy of prosperity. These emotions form spiritual blockages. The law of flow cannot operate through a blocked channel. Just as a river must stay open to keep flowing, your mind and heart must stay open to let abundance move freely. The flow of money is also connected to your sense of giving and receiving. Some people give excessively but can't receive. Others take constantly but struggle to give. Both disrupt the balance. True prosperity is a cycle. Money, ideas, opportunities, blessings all circulate. When you give joyfully, you affirm abundance. When you receive with gratitude, you confirm your openness to divine flow. The key is balance, giving without resentment, receiving without guilt. The spiritual law of flow teaches that holding tightly to what you have, out of fear that it will disappear, actually drives it away. Just as water stagnates when it stops moving, money energy stagnates when hoarded in fear. Faith plays a critical role in maintaining flow. Fear and faith cannot coexist. Fear says, what if I lose everything? Faith says, everything I need is already provided. The vibration of faith opens channels that logic can't explain. Opportunities appear, people show up, and resources align in unexpected ways. When you believe that the source of your provision is unlimited, you stop worrying about the how and focus on the what. You stop trying to force things and start allowing. Allowing is not passive. It's the active trust that what belongs to you will arrive in divine timing. The more relaxed you become in your faith, the faster the energy of prosperity flows. Gratitude is another essential aspect of this law. When you thank God or the universe for what you already have, you multiply its energy. Gratitude tells the universe that you're ready for more. It shifts your focus from scarcity to sufficiency. Even small blessings, when appreciated, expand. A grateful heart is magnetic. It draws new blessings continuously. On the other hand, complaining shuts the flow down immediately. When you complain, you are affirming lack. When you praise, you are affirming abundance. The spiritual law of flow responds to the energy you project consistently. Another reason money can become blocked is unresolved emotional energy. Resentment, betrayal, or shame connected to finances. Perhaps you lent someone money and never got it back, and that experience created bitterness. Perhaps you lost a job and felt humiliated. These experiences carry emotional weight. Until released, that weight keeps your energy anchored in the past. The law of flow requires forgiveness, not to justify what happened, but to free your spirit. Forgiveness removes energetic cords that tie you to financial pain. When you release, you reclaim power, And when power returns, flow returns. There's also an aspect of self-worth that directly affects the flow of money. If deep down you don't feel worthy of success or comfort, the universe will mirror that belief. You might receive money temporarily, but it slips away because your subconscious mind is not prepared to hold it. Worthiness is not arrogance. It's the understanding that abundance is your natural birthright. You were created in the image of a limitless source, and that source does not desire struggle for you. The spiritual law of flow says that when you honor yourself as a vessel of divine abundance, you become capable of holding greater blessings without fear or self-sabotage. Even your environment affects financial flow. Cluttered spaces, unpaid bills, or neglected responsibilities carry stagnant energy. When you organize clean and bring order into your surroundings, you invite clarity and circulation. The physical world reflects your internal state. A person whose home and mind are cluttered will experience the same in finances. Confusion, blockage, delay. Simple actions like clearing your desk, paying off small debts, or giving away unused items tell the universe that you are ready for movement. Movement invites more movement. Flow attracts flow. Intentional action combined with spiritual awareness transforms the way money moves in your life. You begin to make decisions not from desperation but from inspiration. You spend consciously, invest wisely, and give generously because you trust the ongoing cycle of abundance. The more you operate from trust, the more evidence of prosperity appears. The spiritual law of flow isn't about passively waiting for miracles. It's about participating with divine rhythm. It's about living in alignment with the truth that abundance is not earned through fear, but allowed through faith. As this understanding deepens, you start noticing how your relationship with money changes. The anxiety begins to fade, replaced by peace. You stop comparing yourself to others and start celebrating their success, knowing that their gain doesn't diminish your potential. You realize that money isn't running out, it's simply circulating. And when you align with that circulation, it naturally finds its way to you. This law doesn't require perfection, only awareness. Every time you choose gratitude over fear, generosity over greed, trust over doubt, you strengthen the flow. Every prayer, affirmation, or act of faith becomes a signal to the universe. I am open, I am ready, I am in harmony with abundance. There is a divine intelligence that governs all creation, and when your life aligns with that intelligence, everything begins to flow, including money. The 3 transformative prayers are not simply words to repeat. They are spiritual technologies that shift your energy from blockage to flow, from scarcity to abundance, from confusion to clarity. Each of these prayers addresses a different level of your relationship with prosperity. They touch the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Through them, you are not trying to manipulate the universe. You are learning to synchronize with it. The key is not how eloquently you pray, but how sincerely you align your inner state with divine truth. Prayer is the language of the soul, and when spoken from faith, it can rewire your consciousness to receive what has been spiritually yours all along. The first transformative prayer is the prayer of release. This is where you begin to clear away the energetic and emotional clutter that keeps your blessings from manifesting. Money does not respond to desperation. It responds to peace, openness, and trust. Yet many people approach their finances from fear and anxiety, carrying years of unresolved worry about not having enough. These emotions create a vibration that resists flow. When you pray for release, you are declaring your freedom from the emotional weight that has held your prosperity hostage. Divine Source, I release every fear, doubt, and negative belief that has blocked the flow of money in my life. I forgive myself and others for any misuse of financial energy. I now open my heart to receive freely and abundantly. Each time these words are spoken with intention, they dismantle layers of resistance. Release is powerful because it acknowledges that abundance is natural, and it is only our resistance that blocks it. Think of it like a river. The water is already flowing, but fallen branches and debris may stop its current. Prayer removes the debris. It clears the channel. When you forgive yourself for past mistakes, the bad investments, the missed opportunities, the impulsive spending, you free your energy from guilt and shame. When you forgive others who may have wronged you financially, you cut cords of resentment that drain your power. You are no longer tied to the pain of the past. You are open to the blessings of the present. Through release, your emotional frequency rises, and the vibration of abundance begins to match your energy once again. The second transformative prayer is the prayer of alignment. Once you have released the past, you must align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with divine prosperity. God, align my thoughts, words, and actions with divine prosperity. Let every decision I make be guided by wisdom and integrity. May I become a magnet for opportunities that bring value and abundance. Alignment is about unity between your spiritual beliefs and your daily behavior. It means that the way you think about money, the way you speak about it, and the way you handle it all reflect faith instead of fear. Many people pray for abundance, but continue to speak words of lack. They say things like, money is hard to come by, or I never get ahead. Those words contradict the prayer. Alignment means your inner world and outer world agree. When you are aligned, your choices naturally reflect prosperity consciousness. You begin to act from wisdom rather than worry. Instead of chasing every opportunity, you discern which ones truly align with your purpose. Instead of spending impulsively, you spend intentionally. Instead of complaining about bills, you bless them as evidence that you have resources to sustain yourself. Alignment also means living with integrity. Money that comes through dishonesty, manipulation, or greed will always slip away because it carries the vibration of fear and deceit. Prosperity that comes through service, honesty, and contribution is sustainable because it is rooted in divine order. The prayer of alignment calls divine guidance into your daily decisions so that everything you touch becomes fertile ground for growth. Alignment is also about mindset. When your thoughts are in harmony with abundance, you stop seeing money as the ultimate goal and start seeing it as a servant of purpose. You realize that you are not chasing money, you are aligning with purpose. And money is simply a byproduct of that alignment. The universe rewards those who operate in service to life itself. When your intention is to add value, to help others, to uplift and improve the world, you automatically open doors to abundance. The prayer of alignment is a declaration that you are ready to live as a conscious co-creator with divine intelligence, not as a victim of circumstances. It's not about asking for random wealth. It's about aligning with the flow of divine order so that wealth arrives in harmony with your spiritual path. The third transformative prayer is the prayer of overflow. This prayer moves you from the energy of asking to the energy of receiving. It's where you affirm that abundance is already present and you are now ready to live in overflow. Lord, thank you for the abundance that is already mine. Let it overflow beyond my needs so I can bless others. I walk in faith knowing that your provision never runs dry. Gratitude and faith are the twin forces behind overflow. When you thank the source before you see the results, you signal your faith that the blessing is already on its way. This is how you activate divine timing. You are no longer begging, you are affirming. You are not questioning if you deserve abundance. You are acknowledging that you were created for it. Overflow happens when your cup is not only full, but running over. Not because you hoard wealth, but because you become a vessel through which prosperity circulates. The universe cannot fill a cup that is turned upside down in fear. But when you stand upright in faith, open and grateful, abundance naturally pours in. The prayer of overflow is also about purpose. You are asking not only for personal gain, but for the ability to impact others. This kind of prayer expands your capacity to receive, because divine intelligence knows that you will use what you receive to uplift and bless. When your intention is to serve through your prosperity, the energy of money trusts you. It flows to you because it knows it will keep flowing through you. These three prayers together create a sacred sequence. Release clears the past, alignment stabilizes the present, and overflow expands the future. When practiced consistently, they reshape your inner atmosphere. Prayer is not just about speaking words, it's about transforming energy. Each time you pray with sincerity, you are reprogramming your subconscious mind. You are teaching it to expect abundance instead of struggle. The vibration of your words carries power. Words are creative forces, and the prayers you speak release frequencies that attract matching experiences. Even when you cannot see immediate changes, the spiritual realm is already rearranging circumstances in your favor. Through these prayers, your relationship with money begins to heal. You stop viewing it as a source of stress and start seeing it as a partner in your divine mission. You realize that prosperity has nothing to do with luck or favoritism. It has to do with alignment and faith. The more you practice these prayers, the more you feel peace replacing anxiety, clarity replacing confusion, and gratitude replacing fear. Eventually, you begin to live in a natural rhythm of flow, giving, receiving, circulating, and expanding. Each prayer acts like a key unlocking another dimension of abundance that was always waiting for you to notice it. As your energy shifts, opportunities begin to appear that once seemed out of reach. People come into your life with ideas, collaborations, and support. You start attracting experiences that match your elevated frequency. The prayers do not change the outer world immediately. They first change you. And when you change, the outer world has no choice but to respond differently. Your perception expands from, I need, to, I already have. You stop chasing blessings and start magnetizing them. You realize that prayer is not an act of desperation, but of creation. Each of the three prayers is a spiritual code that unlocks divine circulation, a system far greater than human effort alone. When you pray them not from fear, but from awareness, the invisible flow of prosperity begins to move, reorganizing your life in ways that logic cannot explain. Within every human being exists a collection of thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that quietly shape their reality. Some of these beliefs empower growth, while others create invisible barriers that hold abundance at bay. The third key to unlocking blocked money lies in breaking limiting beliefs. Those deeply ingrained ideas that whisper, I'm not worthy, it's too hard, or people like me never get ahead. These beliefs act like spiritual chains around the flow of prosperity. No matter how much you pray, work, or plan, if your subconscious mind still carries messages of unworthiness or fear, the flow of money remains restricted. To experience true financial freedom, you must go beyond external effort and confront the internal stories that keep you small. Every person grows up surrounded by beliefs about money. Some hear phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, or you have to struggle to survive. These words seem harmless at first, but repeated over time, they settle into the subconscious as truth. The subconscious mind, unlike the conscious mind, does not argue or analyze. It simply accepts. When those beliefs become the foundation of your thinking, they form an energetic wall that blocks the natural flow of abundance. Even if consciously you want wealth, subconsciously you might be pushing it away because somewhere deep inside you believe it's unsafe, shameful, or impossible. The universe responds to your dominant vibration, and if your vibration is mixed with desire and doubt, you create resistance instead of attraction. Breaking limiting beliefs starts with awareness. You must first notice the internal dialogue that runs automatically when you think about money. Do you feel tension in your body? Do you hear an inner voice saying, "I'll never have enough"? These thoughts are clues pointing to the energetic roots of your financial blockages. Awareness alone begins the process of transformation, because when you bring hidden beliefs to the light, they lose part of their control. Once you recognize them, you can begin to question them. Is this belief absolutely true? Who taught me this? Does this belief serve my highest good? Every question you ask loosens the grip of those inherited limitations. Beliefs about unworthiness are among the most powerful blockages to prosperity. Many people subconsciously feel that they don't deserve abundance. This belief might come from past mistakes, feelings of guilt, or years of being told that wanting wealth is selfish. But spiritual truth reveals that abundance is your birthright. The creator of the universe did not design lack. Lack is a human distortion of divine order. The same intelligence that provides air for your lungs and sunlight for the earth also provides opportunity, resources, and creativity for your prosperity. When you accept that you are worthy not because of what you do, but because of who you are, a divine expression of infinite source, you open yourself to receive without guilt. Fear is another subtle limiter. Some fear that if they become wealthy, others will judge them. Others fear that they will lose themselves or attract unwanted attention. Some even fear success itself because it represents change, responsibility, or visibility. But fear and abundance cannot coexist. Fear contracts, faith expands. When fear dominates your vibration, you hold energy tightly, preventing the flow of prosperity. The key is not to fight fear, but to understand it. Fear is often a sign that your beliefs are outdated. It shows you where you've been living small. When you face fear with faith and declare, "I am safe in abundance," you begin to rewrite the emotional code that has been blocking your progress. Guilt can also obstruct the flow of money. Many people feel guilty about having more when others have less. But guilt doesn't help anyone. It simply lowers your vibration. True wealth is not about taking from others. It's about expanding what's possible for everyone. When you allow abundance to flow through you, you create opportunities for others to experience it too. You become a vessel for generosity, employment, creativity, and support. Breaking free from guilt means recognizing that your abundance serves a greater purpose. The more you have, the more you can give, inspire, and uplift. Another layer of limiting beliefs comes from generational conditioning. Families often pass down emotional patterns surrounding money, fear of losing it, shame about wanting it, or pride in struggle. These generational stories are powerful because they are not only mental but energetic. You might find yourself repeating your parents' or grandparents' financial experiences without realizing it. Breaking these patterns requires conscious awareness and intentional reprogramming. You can affirm daily, "I honor my family's past, but I choose a new story of abundance. I release inherited scarcity and open to divine prosperity." As you speak and believe those words, you interrupt the energetic chain of limitation and create a new frequency for future generations. The subconscious mind can be retrained through repetition, emotion, and visualization. Every time you speak words of abundance with feeling, you are planting new seeds in the soil of your subconscious. Saying affirmations like, "Money flows easily to me," or "I am open to receive unexpected blessings," is not about wishful thinking. It's about reprogramming old patterns with new vibrations. Visualization amplifies this effect. When you imagine yourself living freely, paying bills with peace, giving generously, and enjoying your blessings, your brain begins to build new neural pathways that support those experiences. The subconscious cannot distinguish between real and vividly imagined experiences. What you consistently imagine becomes familiar, and what becomes familiar eventually becomes reality. Another essential step in breaking limiting beliefs is surrounding yourself with new environments and energies. The people you spend time with influence your vibration. If you constantly hear complaints about money or pessimistic views about success, those energies will pull your frequency downward. Seek out conversations, teachings, and communities that speak the language of abundance. Exposure to prosperous thinking reshapes your subconscious through resonance. Just as tuning forks vibrate in harmony, when brought close together, your energy aligns with the vibration of the company you keep. Self-talk is another powerful aspect of transformation. Pay attention to the words you use daily. Every time you say, "I can't afford that," you reinforce scarcity. Replace it with, "That's not a priority right now, but I am open to new ways of creating it." Words direct energy. They are instructions to your subconscious mind. Choose language that affirms possibility, not limitation. When you speak positively about money, you teach your energy to expect good things. This doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means consciously guiding your thoughts towards solutions rather than problems. Breaking limiting beliefs also involves emotional healing. Often, past experiences of lost debt or betrayal create emotional scars that make you subconsciously fear repeating them. The energy of those old wounds can block new blessings. To heal, you must feel. Allow yourself to acknowledge the pain of those experiences without judgment. Then release them through forgiveness and prayer. Say, "I release the emotional pain connected to money. I trust that I am now free to experience abundance with joy." As you let go of emotional baggage, your energy becomes lighter, clearer, and more receptive to prosperity. The mind, body, and spirit must all participate in this transformation. Meditation helps calm mental noise, creating space for new beliefs to take root. Breathwork helps release energetic tension from the body. Prayer connects you with divine intelligence that transcends human limitation. Each practice reinforces the truth that abundance is not external, it begins within. When your inner state vibrates with peace, confidence, and gratitude, the outer world rearranges itself to reflect that state. Breaking limiting beliefs is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey. Every new level of growth brings new challenges and opportunities to expand your faith. As you step into greater prosperity, old fears may try to resurface, but now you recognize them for what they are: illusions, remnants of an outdated mindset. You no longer fight them, you replace them with truth. You affirm, "I am worthy, I am capable, I am connected to infinite supply." Over time, these affirmations solidify into unshakable knowing. The universe always mirrors your dominant belief, and when your dominant belief becomes abundance, everything in your life begins to reflect it. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the spiritual and the material, the prayer and its manifestation. It is the unseen force that transforms spiritual intention into physical experience. When we speak about faith in action, we are not referring to blind optimism or wishful thinking. We are speaking about a living energy, a divine confidence that moves your prayers from words to reality. Faith without action is like a seed never planted. It holds potential but produces nothing. And action without faith is like planting without water. It exhausts effort but yields no growth. To unlock blocked money, the two must work together in harmony. Faith gives your actions divine backing. Action gives your faith physical expression. When you combine the two, the invisible begins to manifest in tangible form. Many people pray for financial breakthroughs, but then continue to act from fear, doubt, or hesitation. They speak words of faith, yet live in the vibration of worry. This disconnect weakens the power of their prayers. The universe does not respond to words alone. It responds to vibration, to energy, to consistency. Faith must be lived, breathed, and demonstrated. True faith is not merely saying, "I believe." It is walking as though the answer is already on its way. It is making decisions from confidence, not caution. It is trusting that divine order is working behind the scenes, even when logic can't yet see it. Faith is an active force. It requires you to move, to expect, and to prepare for what you've prayed for. One of the most powerful expressions of faith in action is gratitude before the blessing arrives. When you thank the divine before seeing results, you shift your vibration from waiting to receiving. You declare to the universe, "I already have it in the spiritual realm, and I know it will appear in the physical." This attitude of gratitude multiplies blessings because it demonstrates trust. The act of giving thanks for what hasn't yet manifested proves that your belief is real. Faith without gratitude is incomplete, for gratitude is faith made visible through emotion. It magnetizes abundance and invites miracles because it confirms that you are not doubting, you are expecting. Faith in action also requires you to take steps, even when the path is unclear. Many wait for everything to be perfect before they begin, waiting for the right amount of money, the right timing, the right confirmation. But divine flow responds to movement, not stagnation. When you act with faith, the next step reveals itself. It's like walking through fog. You may not see the entire road, but each step forward clears the next few feet. Every inspired action tells the universe, "I am ready." It's not about reckless risk, but about obedient movement guided by intuition. That gentle inner nudge, the one that says, "Apply here, make that call, start that idea," is often divine instruction. When you honor that voice, you activate divine assistance. Faith in action also means releasing attachment to timing and outcome. Many people unconsciously block their blessings by trying to control how and when they arrive. They pray for money but dictate the exact form it should take. True faith says, "I trust the divine source to deliver in the perfect way." It is the art of surrender, not giving up but giving over. When you release control, you create space for the universe to surprise you. Sometimes blessings come from directions you never imagined. A delay might not be a denial, but a divine rearrangement for something greater. Faith allows you to stay calm and confident even in waiting, because you know that spiritual law never fails. Aligned action is another vital part of faith. It's not enough to say affirmations. Your lifestyle must reflect your belief. If you believe in abundance, your behavior should match that energy. You can't affirm, "I am wealthy," while consistently acting out of fear, hoarding resources, or avoiding opportunity. Aligned action looks like generosity, discipline, and wise stewardship. When you manage your money with integrity, you signal to the universe that you are ready for more. When you give without fear, you affirm trust in divine supply. Every financial decision becomes an act of worship, a statement of belief that there is always enough. Faith also transforms the way you handle obstacles. Challenges will arise, but they are not signs of failure. They are invitations to strengthen your faith. When setbacks come, the natural reaction is panic or discouragement, but faith teaches endurance. It says, "This is not the end, this is preparation." The energy of persistence carries tremendous spiritual power. It demonstrates that your belief is not conditional upon circumstances. The universe often tests your consistency before releasing greater blessings. Those who stay firm in faith during difficulty attract breakthroughs because their vibration remains stable while others collapse under doubt. Another aspect of faith in action is the ability to see opportunities where others see limitations. Faith opens spiritual vision. It lets you perceive potential hidden beneath problems. When others complain about the economy, faith looks for new solutions. When others see lack, faith sees creative expansion. Money flows to those who create value, and value is born from vision. Faith trains your mind to look for doors instead of walls. It shifts your focus from what's missing to what's possible. The more you operate in this energy, the more you attract divine ideas, partnerships, and timing. Abundance is not random, it follows insight, and insight follows faith. Faith in action also requires discipline. Many people lose momentum because they act inconsistently, full of energy one day and doubtful the next. Consistency builds power. Each time you show up, make wise financial choices, honor your commitments, and hold positive expectation, you build spiritual momentum. That momentum becomes magnetic, pulling in new opportunities. Discipline is faith expressed through routine. It says, "I trust that every small step is part of a greater unfolding." Even saving a small amount regularly, investing wisely, or studying financial principles with intention is an act of faith, because it shows commitment to the manifestation of abundance. Part of living faith in action is blessing others, even before your own situation feels complete. When you give from what little you have, you demonstrate belief in the law of circulation. You affirm that wealth is infinite, and that giving never reduces what's meant for you. The act of giving with joy opens channels for receiving. It aligns your vibration with generosity, the same energy through which the divine distributes abundance. Faith knows that whatever you send out returns, multiplied. Giving is not loss, it's participation in divine economy. Every time you bless another person, you silently declare, "I am connected to a limitless source." A faith also transforms your emotional relationship with money. Instead of stress or obsession, you develop peace. You stop seeing money as a master and begin to see it as a servant. You understand that faith governs finances, not the other way around. This peace is magnetic. It attracts wealth effortlessly because it removes resistance. When you operate from calm expectancy instead of fear, you signal that you trust divine timing. This peaceful energy draws opportunities more powerfully than anxiety ever could. Another expression of faith in action is self-belief. You must believe that you are worthy of handling greater resources, capable of managing abundance responsibly, and deserving of financial ease. Without self-belief, even answered prayers can slip through your fingers. The universe will not give you what you doubt you can hold. Faith builds the inner capacity to sustain what you ask for. It expands your self-image from survival to stewardship, from worry to mastery. When you truly see yourself as a channel of divine prosperity, the outer world aligns with that image. Faith in action invites constant gratitude and humility. It reminds you that you are not the source, but the vessel. The more you stay connected to the divine source of abundance, the more flow continues. Pride and entitlement block that connection, while humility keeps the channel open. Humility does not mean thinking less of yourself. It means acknowledging that your power comes through you, not from you. When you remain centered in gratitude and humility, prosperity flows with ease. Living faith in action becomes a rhythm, a daily practice of trust, gratitude, inspired movement, and openness. Each decision, thought, and word either strengthens or weakens that rhythm. Every time you choose faith over fear, you expand the channels of divine flow. Every time you act on inspired guidance, you multiply opportunities. You start to notice how synchronicities appear, how timing aligns, how resources show up just when needed. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations that faith in action is working through you. It is a partnership with divine intelligence, a conversation between your intention and the universe's response.